relationships are wonderful. My friend even said the other time that she thinks I'm a better person when I'm in a
Just came back.
relationship.
None of them are going to.
Oh
I don't think
goodness.
I'm probably dead as far as that concerned. I'm joking. I wouldn't go that far. But yeah,
Because
and
every relationship is a lesson,
oh, so
and every relationship teaches you about yourself. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out in these past relationships, as I said, that I fell in love with. Would see what was the point of that, but maybe, hopefully, by the 31st of December, because after that, I'm not thinking about it.
is it? Oh, why
Hi, it's Sips,
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am Bonga, and you are listening to and watching
Unintentional podcast. And today we're not alone. We're here with Sibonelo Mashimane, who's a runner and a businessman and coach. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for gracing us with your presence. And while we're recording, we are live currently on Coach
Facebook.
Mashimane's Facebook. So there are listeners or viewers who are actually watching us as well in the meantime. So yeah, sit back, enjoy the show, and then of course we'll continue with the episode. And then towards the end, if there's any questions, we'll entertain and take it from there. But otherwise, let's continue with our interview with the good coach.
Okay, cool. So just to start us off, can you tell us a bit about how you got into running?
Okay. It's got an interesting story, and the story never changes. And basically, how I got into running is my mom came back from a race with a medal.
Okay.
And it was placed on a dining table. So I just wondered where did this medal come from, because I don't remember anyone giving us a message there's a race that's happening, you know. Anyway, my mom just told us she went out, she saw a race on in a paper, and then it was a fun run. She thought she can do it before we go to church. So she got up and went to the race without telling anyone. And anyway, yeah, to cut the long story short, and she came back with that medal. It was a beautiful silver medal. And every time I looked at her medal, that's what motivated me, that I can actually start running.
Okay, so did you do it for the bling bling, or was it just because you found inspiration from your mom that if she can do it, I can do it too?
It was a bit of both, but basically for my mom, because she was an athlete at her school days. So her completing the 5Ks really at her age at that time. She's currently 70 years old now. She just turned 70. So currently at that age now, at that time, which was about 1996. I recall the year 1996. And so that's what inspired me, that if she can run 5Ks, and then I can also start looking into getting running. And also the medal obviously does bring inspiration, because obviously you want to bring something home, as a reward for reward. So it was a motivation factor as well at the same time, both of them. Yeah.
Okay. And what was your formal start to road running or running altogether? Like what was the first race you entered when you actually took running seriously? Like, when did that start?
Okay, basically my running career started off in 1996. And I started off doing my 5K fun runs, around the area. And then also if there's a particular school that had fun runs or any fundraising activities which had 5Ks, then I would take part in those as a start off.
Yes.
And obviously I built it up to 10 kilometers, and then 15 kilometers, and then 21 kilometers. Okay. And then obviously there was obviously sport running in sport, and then by doing that I got exposed in other opportunities as well, where I would go and volunteer in racing events, helping out, giving out water to the runners, or helping here and there. And then after that I got volunteered I volunteered in Comrades Marathon
Mm-hmm.
as a volunteer, as a student when I was in matric.
Okay.
And then from there, I volunteered for 9 years.
Yeah.
And then obviously going back to the original question, when did I start taking it seriously, was when I participated as a volunteer at Comrades and at Comrades Marathon in 2008.
Okay.
And then I saw a runner, amputated runner, running from Great Britain, running amputated legs, and then
And the Comrades.
at the Comrades Marathon.
Wow.
Okay.
And then that particular moment really inspired me to, you know what, I think I'm gonna take up running seriously now. And as I was always aspired to run Comrades one day,
Yes.
but not in a particular way, not in 2009. But when I saw that particular gentleman in amputated,
Yes.
running the long distance, such as Comrades, amputated legs, and finishing the race, that told me that, you know what, okay, next day I'm running Comrades. And yeah, and then 2009, that's when the running journey, serious journey started, and then it's still continuing.
So the ultimate human race, you've been in it for a long while, you know, as a volunteer, now as a runner. How did you find that transition from volunteering and now running in the Comrades?
Actually, it was pretty scary at first, because now I needed to accomplish my dream of running the Comrades, but at the same time, I was confident that I would do it, because building up to my first Comrades, when I first ran it 2009, previously, even though I was a volunteer for 9 years,
Yes.
I've always been surrounded by runners and meeting runners, different runners, you know, while I'm serving them.
Okay.
So I was always been surrounded by the running community and engaging with them, talking to them, asking them questions, and then all that information sort of put together. It was easier because I already had the information
Yes.
collectively, and it made things easier. I just needed to get the logistics. Where do I start? Join the club.
Yes.
And then find a club, and then obviously, because I was a club runner in 2008,
Okay.
so I had the year of 2008 to get the opportunity to ask, because I think it was 2007 Comrades where I saw this amputated runner. Okay, and then I had the whole year of 2008 getting used to doing races and build up how it goes, how did they train, you know, how did they prepare themselves, and obviously I took part as well in starting building up in marathons as well, and ultra marathons in that 2008.
Okay.
And then by the time 2009 came, it sort of it was still nervous, it was still scary,
Yes.
but you know what, they said you'll never know until you do it. You can ask yourself, am I ready? But you'll never know if you're ready for something until you do it.
And how did it feel when you finished?
Was the first thing that I had in that year. I just held up my hands, put my hands behind my head, and I thought I just had a relief that it was done. I just had a sense of relief that I'm here. You know,
I made it.
I made it. I made it. And yeah, obviously my family were worried because the previous year a runner had died at the finish line. And yeah, and then there was a sense of fear on my family, but they had hope at the same time, you know, that I would do it. So having them there was a great relief, and I was tired, I was exhausted, and my eyes were finished. Yeah. But everything was there because everything was easier because I had them for their support, my family, and we're a very close family, and I kept on thinking of them every time I was running, and the people who were giving me support along the route, obviously, the spectators, they played a huge role.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a funny thing that a lot of Comrades first timers say to themselves is that when they finish, they're like, okay, that's it. I'm not doing any more Comrades after this. Did you have the same feeling? Or did you know that, okay, I'm going to go for my back-to-back medal next year? Or like, what was your feeling after your first race?
Okay, when I first officially entered Comrades, my dream before I start Comrades was to complete 10 Comrades.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I know that people get rewarded with a special itinerary, which is called the green number. You know, it's a special token to receive.
Yes.
You know, you almost rated like a legend, or you know, in a way, because you've accomplished 10 Comrades. Yes, accomplishing one is definitely a lifetime dream for everyone, and it's also a huge compliment to even to complete one. But when I first started, my goal was to finish 10. That was my going to Comrades.
Wow.
Yes.
How confident did you feel that after the first one that, okay, I can do another 9 after this?
No, I was definitely confident because I think I knew that there was always room for improvement, and there was always room to learn more. Because obviously I had minimum knowledge at the time. I only took the knowledge that I required for my first Comrade, and then I knew that going forward, I'm still gonna pick up more knowledge, more advice, and also I'm still gonna make mistakes. Because up to now, trust me now, I might have ran many Comrades, but I still don't know it all at Comrades. And I still believe that I can still improve as a Comrades runner or as an ultra distance runner. Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, where are you now? Have you run 10 already, or where are you now on your scale?
Okay, currently I have finished 13 Comrades.
Oh wow. So you surpassed it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going, my next goal now is the 20.
Okay.
Wow.
Which is classified as a double green number. So that is my next goal. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Congratulations and good luck for the next 7.
No, thank you very much, because I'm glad you put the next 7, because this one we haven't started. So it still counts as 7 to go. So I'm glad that you didn't say 6 as if I haven't completed it. Because some people will classify to say that no, I've ran 14, but we haven't even started. Because we're still building up to that. So I'll remember 7 to go.
7 to go.
Thanks for that.
And how did you transition from like being a runner and now coaching people?
Okay. I've always been an individual who's always loved motivation or inspiring people as a person, because I've always been a coach in my younger days when I was a student, when I was looking to do make extra money when I was a student. So I got involved into coaching because it was easier, because I've always been a sporting person. In my school life, I've always played a lot of sport. So to get involved in coaching was a best transition, if you can put it that way.
Okay. To
get involved into coaching, and obviously I coached a lot of sporting codes, different sporting codes, cricket, hockey, because those are the sports that I played. And obviously the reason why I moved into running, because obviously of my experience that I had in road running.
Okay.
So, and then also my family, actually, particularly my sister as well, Mashimane, pushed me to, why don't you just take this thing seriously and turn it to a business? And I asked myself, do you think I can do it? Of course you can do it. I mean, people always come for you for advice and ask questions, because that's the nature of running or anything in life, in fact, that if you need advice, you're gonna go to a particular individual that you think that can help you, or you think that can assist you, and whom you think they can help you achieve your dream. So that's what I thought, you know what, and then I sat down and I thought about it during COVID, believe it or not, and I thought to myself, this is the opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity for myself to become a coach. What do I do? The first step, gain the qualification, because I didn't have any qualification. I had the knowledge, but I wanted to pick it up with the qualification before I start off my business, because it will make things easier as well going forward. So I went and did level 1 accredited coaching course in January 2020, and I did that, and it was a success. And then now, what I shared prior to me getting a qualification, I need now to put into reality and in terms of for my business. So, and then that's how I started my coaching role, and then through the business, which I've got running now, which has been running for 2 years, Mashimane Sports Consulting. And currently I have 7 athletes with under my guidance. And some of them, obviously, they started prior, and then currently I had got 2 new athletes this year, to the additional that I had already. And one of them is sitting with us in the interview.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
So-
me. That's me. The secret's out. The cat's out of the bag.
I had to
Yeah.
expose
Yes,
them.
Bonga
in a
runs
positive-
now.
Yeah.
So, Bonga, how did you find your interaction with a coach now and taking your running seriously?
Yeah, interesting one. I'm going to try my best to keep it as short as possible. So last year I went to spectate at the APSA Run Your City in Durban. So I traveled together with Mashimane and Unintentional, who's also been on the podcast as well, to go spectate, right? And as we drove, we had various conversations here about running, life, and everything else. Briefly, in our conversations, I mentioned to Coach some goals that I had in mind. At the time, my times in running, I'd probably the 10K I did in like an hour 20 minutes. The 5K was I plateaued at 38 minutes for the 5K, and I told him, I might as well say it here, that my goal was by a certain time to be able to run 5K in 30 minutes and 10Ks in 1 hour. Okay, fast forward from that interaction, because we carried on with our lives in our respective positions, and I continued my training individually. Then I got to a point where I was like, hey, I'm getting closer to running, 10K in an hour. I'm stuck at 35 minutes with the 5K, but I'm getting close, I'm improving. Why not try aim for bigger goals and stuff? So I did that. And then when I saw that my times were improving, I reached out to Coach. There's another client of his who's in the same running club as I am, Sisnana Duma. And I asked her for his contact details, and I reached out, and we set up a consult. We spoke for a good 2 hours. So, like Coach was saying, he runs his operation as a proper business. Like when we met, everything was really professional. There was a questionnaire to fill out. I had to fill in a lot of details about my medical history, my background, my interest, my goals in running, why I want to do running, and so on, and other questions that I can't remember at this point. But it was quite about 4 or 5 pages. It's a long document. Yeah, it's a long document. So it just shows that this is a proper commitment now at this stage. Anyway, we spoke for close to an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then that was probably day one. It was late last year. Began the program on the 3rd of January, I think, if I remember correctly. And well, actually the 9th, I just did the suggested distances that week before, and then I picked up onwards. So that's how it began, and that's how it's going currently. But well, I'll talk more later in another episode about my own progress in running. But yeah, that's my relationship with our coach, Mashimane.
Okay, so you found it very helpful to get a coach.
Absolutely, and one who's very professional as well. Like in all our interactions, very particular about documenting everything and giving regular feedback. And he himself also reaches out. I mean, that's part of the program that he offers as well to his clients, that weekly you'll have at least an hour consultation, a lot of feedback via email, WhatsApp, and so on. Constant interaction, feedback on races. He sets targets, for races.
Yes.
For each individual. But I want to say too much. I'm going to sound like his salesperson. He's probably the best person to represent his own brand. But yeah, that's pretty much my interaction and my experience. And I'm impressed so far, and I'm really happy with the services providing, for sure. Yeah.
And how do you feel hearing such feedback from one of your clients?
It's fairly humbling, I won't lie, and it's also inspiring as well for me as well. And I actually feel happy to see the progress in them through the work that I've given to them. And also, I think it's for me, I feel happy for them individually more than my success, because I've always believed that that I'm a person who works together with the athlete. I don't demand a lot from them, but I just give a sense of direction, and I also give a reason. So I'm very happy for Obonga of where he's come from, because he's had to do a lot of hard work, which took him time to get to, but I didn't put any pressure on him, and which I don't do. I don't put pressure on my clients or my runners, and I don't demand a lot, but I just give them a sense of direction, how they should be going it, how they should be applying themselves through their particular stage in their trainings and also recoveries, anything that they're doing according to the program. So, and Ubonga has come through gradually, nicely, and where he is at the moment, and it just shows that he can go. There's more to him for him to improve than where he is at the moment, and then maintain that standard throughout his running career for a longer running career. So very, very impressed with his work so far. He's currently has had some challenges here and there, but we are working on them, and it is work in progress. And I'm not going to be shy to say that technically Bonga was supposed to run his first marathon in April at the Unintentional, but unfortunately he came across some challenges through minor injuries here and there. So we sat down together to say, they both made a decision to say, let's skip this one and then let's look at the next one, at the next goal. So sometimes you have to not be afraid to pull the plug and make a tough decision for your athlete, and because at the end of the day, you have to look after them, because you're not only a coach, you're a teacher, you are their parent, and they depend on you as well. So as long as we've got a good understanding together, which we do have, then it's everything will progress.
And with the upcoming race, what advice would you give to first time runners who are going into the Comrades for the first time?
Okay, my advice to the novices, Comrades novices who are doing for the first time, is that they mustn't stress what time they get to the finish. I'm not going to elaborate a lot in terms of their training. I know that they've done enough training that is required of them. They must just trust the training that they've done and enjoy the spectators along the route, because there are some spaces in Comrades where there are a lot of spectators, and when they shout your name because your name is on the board, just wave at them, just greet, just get a chance to be you're a professional runner, and your people shout your name, you don't know them, and then they'll say go, just wave them and just smile, and that will keep you going. And also your supporters as well, and that are out there, just enjoy them and don't worry about the time, and just worry about moving forward. As long as you get to the finish line within cut-off time, you're a winner. So don't look at your watch every 5 minutes.
yeah, true that.
Just close it and just forget about your watch for a while. Just run with the crowd and run within your body, run within yourself, and the time will take care of itself.
Okay.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. So on the coaching, I just I did want to have this question as an additional extra. As a coach yourself, do you, when you got into coaching as well, who's probably a coach that you looked up to or was an inspiration to how you got started and the way you approach your coaching as well? Who was that person and what did you learn from him or her?
Okay. Firstly, just on the coaching side, I think I have 4 coaches whom I think inspired me to get into coaching, and currently that I'm involved. But the one particular coach who inspired me to get into coaching, who is a current level 2 coach, is also experienced Comrades runner, is Unintentional Kumal.
Oh yes, I know.
So he is actually the one who actually motivated me more to get into coaching, because we've always engaged with him prior to me getting involved into coaching as an athlete.
Oh yes, and you guys are teammates as well at Hollywood Athletics Club. So
yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
We've always engaged. I've always been involved in his events, in his training runs, and he's always invited me to some of his training runs and get involved with some of his events that he asked me to be part of. For example, starting off the runners, just be involved in his running events, training runs.
Okay.
I always go down to Inanda and assist there, and so that's how I got involved. And then our engagement started there as to be involved in coaching. I told him that, I'm trying to think about the coach to be involved in coaching. What do you think? And he told me, I think you've got experience, you're natural, in everything that you do. And I think just get the basics right. And then he always share with me his coaching experience, how he handles his athletes, what he does, and things like that. So, and he's the one who inspired me, and he was so happy for me when I officially got the qualification, and he wished me luck for my business that I wanted to start, because I also consulted with him. And also another person who I look up to, who's based in KZN, is Coach Kolan Mapida. He's a professional coach full-time. He coaches top athletes. He's coached the winners, like the likes of Bong Samtembu, Koskan Shagwana, and other elite runners that he's got. So he's also taking the teams to, he's been selected South Africa. He's recently been selected in KZN to look after the coaches within KZN athletics, and we've needed that for a long time, to go to someone who we can talk to, because there are a lot of coaches out there in KZN who are coaches by unofficially, without qualification, but through their experience.
Yes.
And we are trying to get a database of coaches in KZN to grow more coaches in KZN, and he's the right man for that particular portfolio that he's going to run in KZN. And I think it's going to be very successful through his experience, because he's a very experienced coach who's been overseas, studied sports science. There's a lot of dynamics that he's brought into road running. And he actually attended our course when I attended the course. and because he was asked to come in and share his experience as well. So having him there in that coaching experience in a room, being in the same room as him, was very motivation. And I remember seeing him when I was about to write my exam on the third day. I was very nervous, and he asked me why I'm nervous. I said, hey, I have to get this pass rate, coach. I said, just relax, and he got me calm. And I think having him there, you know, at the present, at the coaching course, really motivated me as well. And also another coach who really inspired me into running, we ran a lot of races together. He's helped me a lot as a runner, and he's still involved in coaching. And he's also a current SA level 1 coach. He's Mashimane Zondi, who's currently running for St. John's School.
Yes.
And he's a very experienced runner, a very experienced coach as well. And he's got a different level of coaching as well. We all got different levels.
Yes.
And what I like, what inspired me through him is that while I was running as well, before I became actually a coach, because we used to train together most of the places around. He always shared guidance to see how I can become a better runner. Also, he was my inspiration when I wanted to achieve a sub-3 marathon. And he's the one also I engaged a lot. Even though he wasn't my coach, but he was an official coach through the athlete fraternity community. Everybody went for him for advice and asked for advice. And very humble person, down to earth, and not too level-headed. That's what I liked about him as well. That no matter what information you need, he'll share his experience as well, because he's a very experienced runner as well, Comrades runner, and that's what inspired him. That's what inspired me through him. I learned a lot as well, and and then another last coach that who inspired me, who is inspiring me through my work in my business currently, is Sibonelo, who's based in Joburg. Is also a very experienced runner, Comrades runner. He's got his own business as well. He's a coaching business, so we always engage with each other, getting some advice. He also helped me a lot when we're putting together training programs. Just a setup, what his setup was, and his setup also inspired me to make my work more professional as well. Sibonelo, and he is a very much passionate individual who loves his athletes, who loves setting up standards for himself. And I think we all got different standards. And my basic standard is that I basically have integrity. I'm a person of integrity, passion, and respect. So if I have those values through my athletes as well, then we work well together, and that's who I am. That's how I work. And all my athletes that I'm coaching, they carry those 3 values, especially integrity. That's the most important value that I probably carry out a lot in my business, and it actually carries the weight of my business, because on my 3 values, if you have to look at my business card, integrity is an emerald.
Oh yes.
And I've put it there in emerald specifically because it carries the weight of my business, and I cannot jeopardize integrity in anything.
Okay, that's very admirable. And just to close off for me, the last question for me would be, how has running changed your life?
Okay, running has taught me a lot of things in my other part of life that I can accomplish to and improve as well. For example, it has improved my time management as well, and it has taught me that to be precise in time management in everything that I do, because obviously running as a sport, it's everything that involves running. It's about time. For example, the start of the race, being there on time, the time you want to finish the race, make sure that whatever you want to achieve in a race, be on time and everything. Monitor as well, manage yourself well as an individual. And my running career has also changed me to become a better leader, because I've always valued leadership in everything that I do. I always want to be a leader up front and to show people how it's done in everything that I do in life. So, and that's how I got the role name of being captain. In everything that I do, everybody calls me captain. And because I used to be a captain of the running club. And it also gave me an opportunity as well to be involved in other parts of running through club participation as well, through my club. And also it has given me exposure as well to a lot of things in life in general. It gave me an opportunity to go and run overseas for the first time in 2022, where I took part in London Marathon. That was a life-changing opportunity. And also being involved in a club committee as well, through my club at Hollywood Bets. And that has changed my life as well, to become involved in such at a big club, because we are a big club, and I've got a portfolio that I hold there as a club coordinator, as a seconding logistics. And that role as well, through the support of Hollywood Bets Athletics Club and the management for my chairperson, and also our senior coordinator, Lala, and also the runners as well, the rest of the committee at our club. It has taught me a lot of responsibilities as well, that you must be held. It has also, my running also has changed me to be accountable in everything that I do in life, that you must be held in everything that you do in life. You must learn to be accountable. And that is also, accountability has helped me improve my work at work as well, and also even at home as well, because everything that you are required to do in life, you're always going to be held accountable, whether it's a small task or a big task. People think that accountability, it only works in management, but you can be held accountable even when you are a child who doesn't know anything, or even if you are a person who you think that you're not going to be held accountable because you're not in a title such as a manager or a CEO or things like that, but you can be held accountable at a junior level position without much experience, and also you can be held accountable in any part of life. And also trust my running, just to close off as well, it has taught me to be more humble as well, and appreciate life, and appreciate more opportunities that you are given. And I'm always grateful to everyone who has supported me in my running career, whom I'm still communicating with, for their support and for believing in me. As if you don't, that's why I always believe that if someone needs your support, I think it has given me the role that I need to support. Running has taught me to support more in everything that I do. Whoever needs support, whether it's at work or it's at home, support is very much a key factor, because running is about receiving support in anything that you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and all the best with all of your goals and your coaching and everything.
No, thank you very much.